Hello, this is Daniel, and I already did a show like this for the Marlin, and this will be my special show, Trial Finder 2 24 scale declassified. So there's a lot of stuff going on around the truck in the internet, and some of the reviews were a bit skeptical and so on. I have to say, I played a bit with the truck, I modified it a little bit, and I really like it now, and I just want to take the time to explain a little bit what's going on, okay? So first things first, when you look at the truck, you can see mine is left-hand drive, and this is the most simple way how you can differentiate what we are talking about. The thing is, there is currently 2 batches of cars in the market, and there is some simple things how you can call if it's a batch 0 or a batch 1. I would say this is batch 1 because it's left-hand drive. Another thing that you can tell that it's batch 1 is because it has a black servo horn. And the third thing why you can tell is because it comes with the N30 motor pre-installed. So if you do not get the Trial Finder 2 with an upgrade motor, don't worry, you already have an upgraded unit. And I think this is one of the things where the communication in the internet is currently a bit misleading. So the batch 1 cars come with the N30 motor pre-installed, so you don't have to fiddle around with it. Drivability and power was always a topic in the previous reviews, and I think this is something we need to really highlight because it's also one of the beauty things of this platform. It comes with industry standard transmissions. So what you can do, you can switch those out to your liking. The stock version comes with a roughly 1.30 gear ratio, if I read the documentation correctly, but you can swap those out. And one swap that I found in the first night I got it is the Warren motor from a Warren winch. It's a little bit smaller, and I think it's 1 to 300, so it's dead slow, but immediately the car got crawling in a nice fashion. So when I was on this motor thing, I started to look into more options, and I found out that it's very easy to source these motor tranny units with various ratios. In this case, it's a 1 to 150. I have a 1 to 50. I have a 1 to 100, and it's very easy to swap. And I think this is really, if you look at it from an architecture point of view, it's the beauty of the platform that it's so easy to get different motor transmission options from any electronic store. So for me to get a new 1 to 150 motor and tranny, it's like 10 euros. So that's really cool and very affordable. The next thing I want to mention is the electronics it comes with. It's this unit that is already known from the G2, from the 1/18 scale G2. It's a pretty nice unit, it works, but obviously if you go for more hobby grade electronics like I did on my truck, just to find out, you get even better drivability. The radio is kind of bulky, but it does its job, so it can be absolutely used. What I have seen in some trucks from the batch 0 is that the servo can have extensive play. So if you have a truck that doesn't steer well, check that the servo doesn't have extensive play, and you should be able to exchange the servo or contact RC4WD drive support if you have play. In a proper truck there is no play and the steering really works well. Next thing that we hear a lot is that the Velcro comes off the body. I fixed this in a very simple way. I simply used some, how do you call it, express glue or CA glue to mount it to the body, and it works really nice. Interesting, what you can see here is I installed the T-Kin ESC. As I said, it's nice, but it's not absolutely required, and the Sanwa radio receiver, so I can set up my endpoints and everything in a better fashion. Another thing I did rather immediately is I mounted a little Lexan piece in the front. So when I put the body on, it will center automatically, and it's easier to put the body on because this Lexan piece comes in here. Another thing I did is I turned around the rear piece, the bumper holder, because I don't have a rear bumper at the moment, and it makes it simpler, easier and better to use because there is no more angle available. Yeah, and as I said, I switched out the motor and transmission, and it's really a better drivability this way around. So and the other things I did, I just used some adding. I don't know if it's the same called in America, but it's a pen-based chrome thing to make it look more scale, to improve the looks. And I painted the bed liner. And if we look at the undercarriage of the car, you can see the links are plastic links, but for the power that is involved with the 124, I think they will be okay. There's no massive bending if you apply moderate force, so this should be all good. And the transmission, as I said, is in reality attached to the motor, and there is three gears in here, 3 gears in here, but it's just like a one-to-one transfer case. So all the reduction you have comes from the tranny unit that is attached to the motor, and none from this transfer case unit. The frame is metal, and it has some options to change the wheelbase. I liked it a lot. What I do not like a lot, I think it's kinda stiff. It could be a little bit lower, but this is something where you can tinker around, and I think this is not a big problem. Also, what you can see is that I applied one weight up here and one weight down here above the front axle, so the weight balance goes a little bit further. I did some measurements, and if you want to, you can rotate the skid so the motor faces backwards and run the battery in the front if you want even better weight balance and things like that. There is already lots of tires available. I will cut some driving videos in this video. Don't be shocked by the traction I got, because this traction is also highly based on the low temperature. It was 0 degrees Celsius and moist rocks when I went driving, because it's winter here in Austria. But yeah, it is what it is. Other than that, I really think it's a cool platform. And once you have a motor and tranny option that fits your driving style, I also know people that are happy with the N30 and the 130 gearbox. For me, it's too fast a little bit and too little crawler. So I went with a higher reduction. Currently, I'm running 1:100, but I ordered a 1:150, and I think this is what I will try and test going forward. So I'm back with my radio, Sunler MTS. I turn it on and I connect the battery with the car just to show you the steering, and you can see the steering is pretty fine, and with this 1:100 motor it can drive really slow, but there's a little speed in it. I think for indoor use or small playground use, that's fine. For hiking, I think it's not appropriate, and maybe we improvise an obstacle. And what I like a lot with the slower gearing option is that I can really crawl the obstacle. I don't have to bump above it, I can really crawl it. And this works with the stock ESC. It stalls at some point, but still it will crawl if you have more reduction in the transmission. And it's really a different level, and it's a hobby grade drivability if you install a transmission with a bit more gearing, far more to my liking than the stock unit. And as you can see, the chrome grille really makes a difference in the look of the car. And as I said, when I first unpacked it, I was so-so, but the platform grew on me and I really worked a lot. So I think it deserves a chance, and every scale Toyota freak should look into getting one, because there is a lot of stuff you can do with these little trucks, especially in winter around the house. As you see, this is my typical office desk, and I can crawl around on my tool and it will work. Thanks for watching me talk. In the end of the video, I will have some clips driving on the playground with the 1-to-100 motor. Bye bye.